So this is a good one. Montez Ford, one half of the former WWE Tag Team Champion Street Profits, recently speaking out on his frustrations within the company under the creative of Hearst Helmsley. This is very interesting, twofold, right? Most wrestlers are probably going to tell you they deserve more, or they should be booked better. They're not getting enough opportunities, right? Doesn't matter what promotion, Hunter's WWE, TK's AEW, over in TNA, smaller promotions. Pretty sure most wrestlers would say, we should be getting more. We deserve more. But most wrestlers won't talk about it. Not publicly anyway, because they know that we, the fans, reviewers, critics, anybody in the wrestling world, will talk about those words, right? If that's how the wrestler is feeling, this is what they're saying, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to see if they have a leg to stand on. Should the company be giving them more? Or do these individuals believe that they're better than they truly are? They're buying their own hype. And it's up to the rest of the wrestling world to kind of talk about that and see, wait, they're right, man. Like, Montez should be getting a lot more. Whereas if Omos is voicing his frustrations, no offense, I'm just choosing a name out of thin air, right? If Omos is like, I'm not being booked correctly, well then I think it's pretty justified if a lot of fans, critics, reviewers, people within those walls of WWE are probably like, no, you shouldn't. There's just because you're 85 feet tall doesn't put you in main events of WrestleMania. But most wrestlers are probably going to feel like they should be getting more. Most will not speak on it because they know it'll become a big thing. We'll be talking about it in podcasts and shows, and they don't want to burn bridges. They don't want to upset Hearst Helmsley, back in the day, Vincent Kennedy. Maybe they don't want to piss off Tony Khan, so they keep it to themselves. But Montez is speaking out about it, and I like the way that he did it. He's not bashing Hearst Helmsley. He's not bashing WWE. This is very authentic from Montez. He is telling you how he truly feels. This is a dream job. He enjoys that aspect of it. But something's not right. There's no reason that after all these years in this company, he should feel frustrated and not even feel like he's in conversations in pro wrestling, not just the tag team division. I want to give you guys his exact quote, if you don't mind. And this will kind of enlighten you on how he's feeling. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Montez says the following: "It's been this constant stop and go, stop and go, stop and go with the Profits, where we'll get momentum and then the momentum will stop. Then momentum will start again, then the momentum will stop again. For us, that's frustrating because it's hard to get behind a team whose momentum starts and then shifts again." Montez says, "For me, to sit here and say that it's going good, that'd be a lie. There's always pleasure in doing what you love, what you admire, what you've dreamt of, the goals you have and the passion for it. But it does get to that sense of frustration where anything you try to accomplish, where you feel like it's either taking too long or it's been too long or nothing is happening. You've got new faces showing up on the scene. And our audience naturally tends to forget what we've done and how we've done it. In the now, it is at the point where it's been 4 years since we've been tag team champions. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't sit here and hear what everyone is saying. I watch everything, and we're not in any conversations when it comes to top tag teams. We're not even in conversations when it comes to anything wrestling related. Besides the fact of getting handled by the bloodline, and that doesn't sit well with me. So as well as it is going in terms of being my dream job, it's as enjoying as it is frustrating." End quote. Okay. So he didn't bash anybody. Hunter and WWE are going to go on. They're not going to lose any sleep over this. But Montez was asked a serious question. Right now, how are you feeling in WWE, where you're at career-wise? Do you feel like you're ascending and you're getting more and doing more opportunities? And when those opportunities arrive, are you crushing it? And Montez is like, well, it's been 4 years since we've even not only have held the tag titles, but we're not even in the conversation for top tag teams. So he's basically like answering that in a matter-of-fact rhetorical way, right? Like, you tell me how we're doing. Do you hear Montez Ford ever mentioned? Are we ever in anything big or a big topic unless it's getting beat up by the bloodline? Which I'm glad he said that doesn't sit well with him. He doesn't want mediocre booking just for a paycheck. So that's what I've always admired about Montez. There's many things I want to dissect and little time to do it. So let me start off with this. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you know I put Montez up on a pedestal. I just feel like he checks off every box. And I just feel like a tag team is holding him down anyway. So him being in conversations for top tag team, I feel that's beneath him. Montez is ready to be a single star. He checks off every box. He can go on the microphone. He can clearly go in the ring. He can put storylines on his back. There's no stopping this dude, unfortunately. And Dawkins has gotten better by the week, by the month, by the year. But Dawkins, unfortunately, is an anchor that is tying down Montez. That's just the way it is. And that's how Hunter is always going to see it. So Montez will never thrive under that condition of a tag team. Montez is ready. And I've always said, when he says, I love how he says, when all these new faces are coming onto the scene and fans are forgetting about all of us who have been here for years. It's so true. You know, when you see Motor City show up and they just get tag titles and they're the talk of the town and all the topics, all the headlines, Street Profits are like, wait, it's been 4 years. And even if we don't get titles, that's fine. But can you put us in meaningful storylines? That's all we're asking for. Like, we just want to be a conversation. We want to feel like we're relevant in this company because we know we have the talent. You give us the opportunity, we'll knock it out of the park. We're getting nothing. We're not just saying you need to throw gold on us. We just want to be a conversation point. Motor City's coming in. The Vikings get their names changed over to War Raiders, and now they're the talk of the town. I've always said with all these new faces coming in, careful. More is not always the answer. Sometimes the answer is less, right? It's quality over quantity. I always try to preach that. Tony Khan has the same problem in AEW. More wrestlers. Let's just inflate this, right? WWE's new ID program and their NIL program, the Performance Center. They just want to train 8,000 wrestlers and have a roster of 250. Where are they all going? Are you creative enough to give all 200 people a captivating storyline? I hope so. More. When Mello came in, that's what the big comparison was, right? Oh, it's Mello's coming in. He's like Montez, but like even better. Wait till you see what he does on the singles roster. Guys, you want a hot take? It shouldn't be a hot take, but I'm sure it's going to be. And I said this before in a live stream, if Montez and Mello are in a tag team, Montez is Shawn Michaels. Mello is Marty Jannetty. When you talk about the microphone and in the ring, and putting storylines on your back, I'm going Montez 10 out of 10 times. But all these new faces, and it's new, right? Now all of a sudden, they need to be thrusted the championships. They just got there. People like Mello haven't even been there for a cup of coffee. People already want him to hold titles. Montez is forgotten about because Hunter is not putting him in positions to be relevant. And that's a shame because, like I said earlier, some wrestlers believe their own hype and should be getting more than what they are. The truth is, no, you shouldn't. You're just not good enough. Montez is beyond good enough. Week after week, month after month, year after year, Montez is booked into obscurity. So when he speaks like this, you know frustration has mounted. There was a time that we saw this under Vincent Kennedy. It was just reaching a boiling point, and finally everybody just started speaking out. FTR, I think, what were they back then? The Revival, whatever it was in WWE, they were speaking out on social. Miro, who was Rusev at that same time, was speaking out. Brody, Luke Harper speaking out. All these wrestlers, they were frustrated, and they were starting to speak out because it reached a boiling point. That's what I mean. I doubt very much Montez is the only one. The reason, or the fact that he is speaking out, it tells you that it's only a matter of time before more do. I think when Hunter took over, it was supposed to be cookie cutter, right? Everything's going to be rainbows when you wake up. You look up to the skies and it's going to be crapping out chocolate chip cookies on top of you. And you're realizing, no, Hunter is, he absolutely plays the favorites. The majority of the roster will still not get anything relevant, will still not get a storyline, will sit at catering, and most of them will be told to go home until we have something for you. Unfortunately, the call that they get will be telling them that they're released, as Cameron Grimes, Dijak, and so many others. Montez is too good for this type of booking, which is non-existent. It's irrelevant booking. You guys know that. You don't need BC to tell you that. This dude is 34 years old, 6'1", 232 pounds. A 300, I believe, correct? The dude scored a perfect 300 on his U.S. Marine Corps physical fitness test. So what are you looking for in these NIL programs? What are you looking for in the Performance Center? Why do you need to tag up all these wrestling schools to get the best athletes in the world when you have them right in front of you? You currently have some of the best talent you could ever imagine. 34 is still young, by the way. This guy's right there. Why do you need somebody else to come in and replace his spot or be the talk of the town? Montez is there. So BC's, if it's a hot take, it's a hot take. But the story is Montez being frustrated in his words. That's the point of this upload. But BC's take on it is, this superstar, this professional wrestler, he absolutely has a leg to stand on. He has a valid point, many of them. And he's being real about it. Montez is good. Why not at least give him a real opportunity, a storyline that is capable of being the talk of the wrestling world, and see where it goes? Just see where it goes. I don't understand how Hunter can have talent like this and not seeing any value in them. I said that about Bobby Lashley. He just showed up to AEW. How do you lose a guy like Bobby Lashley? You put him with a mouthpiece like MVP, the sky's the limit. I said that about Rusev and Lana too. Vince screwed that up. But Hunter screwed up Bobby Lashley by not even wanting to work with him. That's what Bobby said, right? Bobby said, I tried several times. Hunter just didn't see anything. He didn't want to do anything. We wanted a Hurt Business revival. He didn't want to do it. I had some other things that we could have, ways we could have gone. Hunter didn't want to do any of it. No, Hunter just wanted Bobby out of the organization for some reason. Well, you got Montez right here, man. I don't see why he even has to just be a tag team guy. Split him. Let's see. It's sink or swim for Dawkins as well, and I think he'll be just fine. But this is the Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty time right now, man. Let Montez flourish. There's no reason this dude should be frustrated in that company. Montez has always had a good relationship with Hunter as well, and so I don't ever think he's going to bash Hunter. He's always had very good things to say about Hunter. So for him to say this, just imagine all the talent that is maybe not too close to Hunter and is not getting anything right now. Imagine what they're feeling. It's their dream job, but it doesn't feel like it. It's their dream job, but it sucks. Or, in Montez's words, it's frustrating. And he used that word several times. I don't know. How do you guys feel, man? Should Montez be getting more opportunities in this company, or just be at least a conversation, at least have a storyline? Or do you guys think Montez is just not that good? You ain't going to lose sleep over it. On to the next. How do you guys feel about it? Well, after this, you now know how BC feels about it. That's BC's hot take for the day. This is the Amped Up show and channel. And until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we're out. BC in the unit saying check you.